When you walk out on stage with a Gretsch and you're in a punk rock band, it's making a statement, you know, and plugging them in, it's different. I'm Ron Emory from T.S.O.L, True Sounds of Liberty. It was probably 1978. I went and saw the Clash play at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium with my brother and Mike Gretsch, the bass player of T.S.O.L. And at that point, when they walked out on stage, I knew that I wanted to do what they were doing. I believed what they were saying. I believed what their songs were about. And it made me want to play guitar. I mean, from the moment they walked out on stage, they looked different than any other band my older brothers had taken me to. My oldest brother, and he took me to Alice Cooper in '72. So that kind of dates you. I was 10 years old then. But this was different, you know. That music meant something, you know. It wasn't la-la songs about love and girlfriends and breakups and this and that, which is okay. I mean, there's room for everything. But that made me want to play guitar. And I worked all summer to buy my first guitar. From that point on, you know, it was like my grandpa told me to learn everything. He was in the entertainment business in the 30s, and he told me to learn everything I could learn about guitars, all the different styles, all the different types, all the different music that they made. And he promised me one day I would look back and have made a career doing something I love, and it would never seem like work. And he was absolutely right. I just wanted to play music, and I took my grandpa's words, I learned everything I could find out about the different types of guitars, you know, and here I am still learning about them, you know, and having fun with them. There was one in particular that I took a fancy to just because his guitars were so unique, and that was Bo Diddley, you know. And Bo Diddley had these crazy cigar-shaped, box-shaped guitars that Gretsch made for him, and he had these other really crazy ones, the Lady Bo Diddley one. There was a picture of him on like a Lambretta or some kind of Cushman scooter with his guitar hanging off his back. And it just looked so cool, you know. And so I learned a little bit about Bo Diddley's music and, you know, the shave and haircut rhythm and all that. And so I decided to make myself a Bo Diddley guitar. And I got another Gretsch Corvette, and I took the neck off of it, and I took the pickup out of it, and I made a single pickup Gretsch Bo Diddley guitar. I love that guitar. I used it in a couple of videos and whatnot for TSOL. And I had the opportunity at one point at the Music Machine in Santa Monica. My friend Bill Bateman of the Blasters was playing drums with Bo Diddley. And so I asked Bill, you know, would you get him to sign my guitar? You know, it was gold sparkle. It was really cool, you know. And he says, well, yeah, bring it down. And then so I got there and I says, Bill, can you have him sign my guitar? He goes, nope, can't do it. And I'm like, that sucks. He goes, but you can. I'll go introduce you to him. So he takes me backstage at the Music Machine, and there's a little round table backstage, and he's sitting there with this other gentleman, and I'm like, that's John Lee Hooker. There's John Lee Hooker and Bo Diddley sitting backstage, and I hand him the guitar. I asked him if he would be kind enough to sign it, and he starts playing it, and he says, man, if you put some real strings on this thing, I'd play it tonight. I says, real strings? What do you mean? He goes, these are kid strings, and I played 12s. You know, those are heavy strings for, you know, a young kid to be playing. They were really thick. He goes, here's real strings. He hands me his guitar, and it had 15 was his high E. They were just like piano wires. You couldn't bend them. You couldn't do anything with them. But he played around on it for a while, and I gave him the marker, and he took right across here, and he put the man, Bo Diddley. Really pretty, just really nice. The man, Bo Diddley. And I'm thinking, wow, that's so cool. So I learned to appreciate all the different guitars. I was never really into acoustic guitars. I learned that later on. But I was always intrigued by the sounds, you know, like the sounds that you could make with an electric guitar, you know. And my first Gretsch guitar I got was I think it was a 62 or 3 Gretsch Corvette. And I couldn't tell you where I got it. It was probably out of the newspaper, and it was probably really cheap. It just had one pickup. It was very simple. It had a pickup and 2 knobs. It was a fun guitar. It had the weird 2 tuners on one side and 4 on the other side. So it was very unique looking, and it looked cool, and it was a cool guitar. But the Gretsch thing, you know, I mean, that was my initial introduction to Gretsch. I went on to, immediately after that, I bought a two-tone green anniversary model, and they played that on some TSOL records as well. It's actually on the back cover of one of them, and went on to just appreciate the clarity, of the Gretsch sound. The pickups have such a unique high end, that where it just punches through, but you still have that low end grind on them. I know some of the older ones, the hollow bodies, were a bit hard to control, but if you set your amp up properly, you could get some really unique sounds through them. I went on to many other Gretsches through the years, just an awful lot of them. I found a picture the other day of one that I don't even remember what happened to it, which was a 57 White Falcon. And again, all I have is a picture of that one, but I think it was in that storage space that got lost when we were on tour. My ex-girlfriend didn't pay my storage, and I came home and they had a storage lot sale. This was way back when it wasn't so popular to do, but all that stuff disappeared, and I think some of my Gretsches went in that. But I've been fortunate enough to find other ones that are out there, and had some really neat, unique ones. I've had the Silver Jets. I've had the green Silver Jet. I've had a lot of the really unique ones that aren't around that much. You can't make a Fender sound like this. You can't make a Gibson sound like this. It's a Gretsch. It's unique to. I always talk about like Stratocasters, for instance. Like, you can't make any guitar sound like a Stratocaster, but you can make a Stratocaster sound like a lot of guitars. Same with a Gretsch. You can't make any guitar sound like a Gretsch, but you can make a Gretsch sound like a lot of guitars. It's just a matter of how you use the tone controls, the pickup selectors, the switch, how you use the guitar. I mean, all this stuff is for a reason, It's meant to be used, They turn for a reason. The knobs, they're there for a purpose. And if you utilize your guitar, and this goes back to what my grandpa had told me, learn everything you can about them and the different styles, and different ways of using them, the different ways that they work, and you can make these guitars sound like anything. So the Falcons, the hollow bodies, the country clubs, the Falcons, those that have the sound posts in them, and with the pickups that are in those guitars, they're a lot different than the old ones. They really got it right with the new pickups. They break up really good and really clean. Like I said, they've got these great highs and bright tones that you can get at them. But what's great about those particular guitars is you can control with the master volume on those, you can control the amount of gain and amount of output that's going out, and you can really get some really nice overtones. I use multiple amps at the same time and kind of split them up stereo, so you can get these really cool like harmonic feedbacks with them that are just, you can't get with any other guitar. I couldn't get it with a Gibson. I couldn't get it with anything else. But the Gretsches, because of this knob right here, you have this access of this control of, if I back it off a little, I don't get where it's crazy. It's still got that Gretsch sound really clean. But once you do that, you get it all. You get the whole enchilada there. Of course, with the rockabilly, it's a very popular guitar with the rockabilly. You've got all the greats, from the past, the Eddie Cochrans and stuff that played them originally. And they do get a fantastic sound for rockabilly, but they're rock and roll guitars all the way. I mean, they are absolutely rock and roll guitars. From the solid body ones, from the chambered ones, from the hollow body ones, I think, my band always says, you don't play a Gretsch, you wear it. And I agree, I mean, when I put one of those big hollow bodies on, it's making a statement, and plugging them in, it's different, it's a different, like my band loves when I play them. I'm like, I just don't want to have them lost or broken. That's also, I'm playing a cheaper one now, but I put good pickups in it, and it just walking out with it, it just, you wear it.